Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I will be talking about books that are becoming TV shows and movies. I did my last adaptation news video back in November, I think. It was 3 months ago. I will link that video down below. I do have a couple of updates from that video and then there's lots of new news. I'm going to link a bunch of my other adaptation news videos that I've done in the past, as well as my on topic videos. I am filming this a week before it goes up, so some of this news might not be up to date. I might be missing a couple of details, but I will keep any updates for my next adaptation news video. I do want to try to do these every couple of months. I want to keep up with as much news as I can. There's probably definitely a few things that I've forgotten, and there is some stuff that I'm not really that interested in, but I still kind of wanted to quickly talk about, I guess, because I feel like many people might not know that it's becoming a TV show or a movie. Also, I will link all of the news sources and information down below if you want to know more details. I'm actually going to do this in order of anticipation. Usually I do, I think, movies and then TV shows, and then I cover passion flicks at the end, which I will still have passion flick stuff at the end, but I've kind of mixed everything. Let's go ahead and dive into all of the news. Rule by Jay Crownover is becoming a movie. This is the first book in the Marked Men series. I read this years ago. I read it back in 2016 and I gave it 2 stars. I did not like this book. I am planning on rereading it though before the movie comes out. But we have casting, we have a director, we have one still already, and I believe they've already filmed the entire movie. Sydney Taylor will be playing Shaw and Chase Stokes will be playing Rule. The screenwriter is Sharon Saboya, who also wrote the screenplay for After We Fell, and I loved that movie. I thought they did a really good job with the storytelling in that movie. And the director is Nick, oh my god, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Nick Cassavetes, I think, who directed The Notebook. This movie is done by Voltage Pictures, who did the After franchise. A part of me is really excited for this movie, but also another part of me is like, I don't really want to support Voltage Pictures just because of how they've treated Josephine and Anna Todd. Like, they treated them horribly. I also get the vibe that they also treated Castile Landon, the director, really bad too. They also treated Shane, who originally played Landon, they treated him like shit as well. So I don't know, there's part of me that doesn't want to support this movie at all, but I am very curious about it. The movie is scheduled to come out early 2024. We also already got like a first still from the movie. They do have an Instagram page, and I know Jay Crownover, the author of the book, has posted a lot of updates on her socials and stuff. I think Voltage Pictures expected After to be a massive franchise for them. I mean, it was big, but I think they thought it was going to be bigger. I'm thinking this is what Voltage wants for their next big hit. Like, I really think that they're wanting this to be the thing that makes Voltage Pictures it. This is the same company that also is doing an adaptation of Beautiful Disaster, which I think comes out soon. I have no interest in supporting that movie at all. It's very interesting how they're continuing to pick books that came out like years and years and years ago, and they're not jumping on newer books. They're adapting books that came out like almost 10 years ago. And it's like, why are you bothering with those old new adult romances? Why don't you adapt something new and something that's like diverse and like fresh and like actually is good? Like, I feel like a lot of the books that they're adapting are like not really that great. Like, even though I love the After franchise, like I love the books, I know that they're not good. You know what I mean? And obviously I didn't even like Rule. I didn't continue the series. I do plan to reread it before I see the movie because I want to see how I feel about the book again, and then I want to see how they adapt it. Also, we got the director of The Notebook. Like, that's crazy. So I'm curious about this movie. Moving on to a company that I really support, we have a Passion Flix adaptation of the Black Dagger Brotherhood series by J.R. Ward. The first book is Dark Lover. There's like, I think almost 20 books in the series. J.R. Ward announced on all of her social medias that Passion Flix would be adapting this book and this series. There's not many details about this adaptation yet, whether they will adapt multiple books, whether they'll just adapt the first book, whether it'll be a TV show or a movie. There's really no news other than J.R. Ward is really excited to work with Passionflix. This will be Passionflix's second paranormal adaptation. They did adapt Jennifer L. Armentrout's Wicked series. They've done the first 2 books. They have yet to do the 3rd book. I really enjoyed that first movie, but I have yet to watch the second one. But I thought they did a decent job with the paranormal aspect. I think they definitely need to improve though a lot. I have very mixed feelings on this because I love this series. The 3rd book, Lover Awakened, is my absolute favorite like paranormal vampire romance. I love that book so much. And I just don't picture anybody playing those characters. Like even this, I don't see anybody playing Beth or Wrath. Like I don't picture anybody at all. And even though I do love Passionflix, I will admit their adaptations are not really that great. Some of the actors that they do choose are very questionable. Sometimes I do believe that they pick looks over acting, which is just really unfortunate. But I don't know, I feel like J.R. Ward is pretty particular, so I feel like maybe she could sway things a little bit more and we'll have maybe a little bit more of input from her. If anything, I wanted like an HBO or AMC to adapt this series. I think they would have done a phenomenal job. They could have made it like a really gothic, historical, but like modern, dark vampire show. I'm kind of thinking of like Discovery of Witches and like, I haven't seen Interview with a Vampire, the new show, but I've heard that it's really, really good. And I've seen like some clips and some photos and stuff, and I feel like that could have been the vibe for this. But we're gonna be stuck with Passionflix, which is just, you know, I love Passionflix. I've supported them for years, but I really don't think that they can fully deliver on this adaptation, which is unfortunate. But I am hoping for the best. Like I'm hoping that they do bring everything that they can for this adaptation. But yeah, I'm curious to see how many books they will adapt. Because, I mean, they have so many books to adapt. So maybe they'll just do like the first 3 or 4 or 5, but we'll see. I will keep you guys posted on this. There's really no other news other than its options at Passionflix. From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout is becoming a TV show on Amazon Prime. Or I guess it's Prime Video, sorry. I get confused. I always call it like Amazon Prime or Prime Video. Anne Kofel Saunders will adapt the book. She will serve as writer and showrunner. She has worked on The Boys, which is on Amazon, and Star Trek Discovery. Those are like her most notable works, I guess. I have mixed feelings on this as well. I have only read this first book and I did not understand it. I thought it was so confusing and kind of boring. I did buy the second book, but I have no plans to continue this series. I'm just not interested in it, which sucks because I love JLA and I've read pretty much all of her books. I'm actually not surprised that this is becoming a TV show, to be honest, but it is curious that I know JLA has wanted her Lux series to become a movie for years and that's going nowhere. Yeah, I don't know if I'll watch this show. I didn't really care about it, to be honest, so I might not. I might. We'll see. Now a movie I'm actually very excited about. We're getting a movie of Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. Andy Fickman is set to direct this movie. There is no screenwriter attached at the moment. I believe they are searching for a screenwriter. I feel like this book had the rights bought years ago and nothing ever happened. So I'm assuming that deal, whatever company that was with, fell through, and that's why we now have Andy Fickman as the director. I do think this is interesting. Again, we're having all these old books kind of become TV shows and movies, which I find is very, very interesting. I mean, this came out in 2009. I want to say I read this maybe in like 2011, 2012, something like that. I really loved this book and this series. I have read all of them. I believe Andy Fickman is also working on a bunch of other projects. I'm pretty sure he was attached to direct Roomies by Christina Lauren, and most recently, which I will talk about later, he has directed One True Loves, which is an adaptation of Taylor Jenkins Reid's book. So yeah, this adaptation I'm really, really curious about and I will definitely watch. I I'm very excited. I also kind of want to reread this because it's been years. Then we have an adaptation of Praise by Sarah Kate. Kiss and Tale Productions have bought the rights to the first book in the series. Anna Elizabeth James is currently adapting the novel. Anna and Sarah are working side by side to bring the story to life. I have not read this book. It is on my TBR. I would love to read this eventually. I don't know anything about this book other than it is age gap and a romance. I think it's kind of like erotica maybe. I'm not exactly sure. I have never heard of Kiss and Tale Productions, but I believe they have worked with Netflix a little bit or something like that. So who knows where this movie could end up. I believe it's just like a production company and then they'll try to like find a distributor. So like Netflix or Hulu or Amazon. It even could end up in theaters. I don't know. Yeah, I know a lot of people are very excited about this adaptation. I am curious about it. I definitely need to read the book first. Raven Kennedy's Platted Prisoner series is getting a TV show adaptation. Guild is the first book in the series, but the whole series is being adapted into TV from Mandalay Television. I have not read this book or series. It is on my TBR. I would love to read it eventually. I believe this series blew up on TikTok as well. This is like a fantasy series, so I'm sure it'll be a fun, entertaining TV show. Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid is becoming an adaptation. I think it's becoming a movie. It's not clear whether it'll be a TV show or a movie, but Picture Start has bought the rights, so it'll become a TV show or a movie. There's no other news on it other than it is being adapted, and Taylor Jenkins Reid seems very excited, so we'll see where this ends up. I feel like all of Taylor's books are going to become adaptations. I have not read this book yet, but it is on my TBR. Book Lovers by Emily Henry is being adapted into a movie. Hango will produce the movie. I believe their recent project is Shortcomings, which I have heard a little bit about. Sarah Hayward is going to write the script. Her notable work is HBO's Girls, which I'm pretty sure that show won multiple awards when it was out. So I feel like that's a pretty big deal. They have kind of a big screenwriter for the book. I am in the middle of this book. I'm not loving it, but I think it could make a really cute, fun movie, like a very fun rom-com movie. This is definitely a movie I will eventually watch as well. I think it'll be fun. So yeah, great news for Emily Henry. The next two are books that I have not read yet, and I don't know if I have plans to. I might just watch their adaptation. The first one is One Day in December by Josie Silver. This is becoming a movie with Lucy Boynton as the main lead, and it will be a movie for Netflix. And then the other one is One Italian Summer by Rebecca Searle, or is it Surly? The film rights were bought by Paramount, so it's gonna become a movie. I have three other adaptations that I quickly want to talk about. The first one is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This I talked about, like, I feel like over a year ago that it was becoming a movie and we had casting and everything. Well, the movie is coming out April 7th. We got a trailer and a poster and everything. I will link all of that down below. It does say theaters April 7th and then on digital April 14th. So you'll be able to rent it or buy it in the middle of April. I read this book years ago and I really, really liked it. I'm definitely curious about the movie. It does look pretty good. We finally got a release date for Through My Window Across the Sea, which is the second movie in the Through My Window trilogy. This second movie will be out June 23rd. I am very, very excited for this movie. We kind of got two, not really like clips, but like sneak peeks, I guess. We got a little bit of promo, which just featured Clara and Julio together. And then we had a little bit of a promo when they announced the release date, which featured all of the cast. June 23rd, we are getting Across the Sea, which I am very, very excited about. This is like my most anticipated movie ever. I am so excited about it. And then in my last adaptation news, I had talked about the Fallen adaptation. We were getting a TV show from the book Fallen by Lauren Kate. They have actually already finished filming, and if you follow them on their social media, I think they have Twitter, but they definitely have Instagram. They have been posting so many stills and behind the scenes photos on their Instagram. So if you are curious about the TV show, I highly recommend go following them there. I'm sure they will announce a release date for the TV show very soon. And finally, on to some Passionflix news. There isn't really a lot. Passionflix is officially finished filming Gabriel's Redemption by Sylvain Renard. This is the third book in the Gabriel's Inferno series. They've officially finished filming all 3 parts of this adaptation, and I believe they are currently editing the first part right now, so that's, I think, their main focus. As for other Passionflix projects, they haven't announced their newest project to my knowledge, unless I missed something, but I don't think they're filming anything right now. They did just release Wait With Me by Amy Dawes, which I have yet to watch. I will make a video on that very soon, but that is a new release of theirs, and like I said, they just finished Gabriel's Redemption. So I don't really know what they're working on next, but I have a feeling we will get news very soon on their next projects. I am wondering if they're going to work on some backlist stuff that they have to work on, or if they're going to work on something completely new, but I will keep you guys updated in my next adaptation video. So that's all the adaptation news that I had to share today. Like I said earlier, there's probably some that I'm missing and some of this news might not be completely up to date, but I will update you guys again in my next adaptation video that I hope to do in a couple of months. If there is an adaptation that I haven't talked about that you're excited about or that you want to let me know about, please leave it down below and let me know your thoughts on all of the other adaptations that I talked about. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, follow me on all my other social media, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.